hunt hungry.
So if as you get closer to the rut, do you change at all, or do you just keep hunting feed trees?
I do some. There again, the feed trees are always kind of there. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the acorns, you hunt a ridge, you hunt a funnel. You know, that deer I shot last year that I didn't find was a good example of that. He was working a ridge. There was a ridge that I had picked out, and there was a lot of post oak acorn trees on it. They're dropping these post oaks, and they were just all falling. I mean, there was a bunch of them. It wasn't like one particular tree they were hitting. But you go walking through the top of that ridge, which there was sign all down it anyway. It's November or late November, early December. But there were scrapes and rubs all down the ridge. But you could tell deer were feeding in there too, their leaves. And that's another thing you could do a lot of times. You can get under a tree if it's kind of suspect. You see the little pockmark holes where their hooves go down. You can even take those leaves and rake them back, and you can take your fingers and feel the indentions of the hoof. So you can check trees. You know, if you look, say, well, I don't know, maybe that was a squirrel or armadillo. You know, you can get down there and actually rake them leaves back and check them and feel the indentions. But those deer were traveling that ridge, and there was a funnel situation. I had two creeks. There's a creek on either side of the ridge, and they made two big oxbow bends. Basically, it was like an hourglass is what it looked like. So I had a 40-yard gap across the top I could shoot. And but yeah, I mean, the feed trees were still there. They were on those. The does were on that ridge to feed. You know, so you know, it wasn't just one particular tree, but
yeah. So it sounds like if you're doing it like you're talking about, where it's like I'm going to find a terrain feature or bedding, and then I'm going to find the tree around that bedding. The terrain feature is still the place to be. The funnel or whatever, the bedding is still a place to be anyway. So.
Right.
Like, I mean, they still got to eat, right? Even in November.
Right.
So, I mean, it seems like you're saying you could just go ahead and keep hunting that stuff. It's not gonna be a bad idea, right? Is that what you're saying?
No, yeah, exactly. Well, the does are gonna be. You're gonna, it's the rut, so you want to be where the does are at. So if the does are feeding it, I mean, that same thing could go for the singular tree too, though. I mean, well, that little deer that I killed at 8 Point. He was chasing a doe. He come in there. I mean, he wasn't like, it was the first week of November. He wasn't like just really after her, but he was definitely coming in there. So the does they come in there and started feeding first, and then here he come. And, so I mean, it was, they were coming to that white oak tree, and he come in there too. So.
Yeah. Early season, do you notice it being just a lot of does coming to feed trees, and then the bucks are at night, or does it matter?
Well, a lot of it depends on the location in early season, I would say, because the bucks are not traveling near as much as they will come cooler weather. Honestly, that's a lot of it, I think, just the cooler weather. But in the rut too. But to get daylight, to get some daylight action early on bucks, you're gonna have to be in some thick cover. You're gonna have to find a spot that's got a tree, like maybe inside a bedding area, or very, very close to a bedding area, thicket, whatever. And, but I do find those places. Matter of fact, I hope to kill one during the velvet hunt doing just that. So
me too. I got a nice spot in my mind. Like, that sounds perfect for this hunt.
Oh, absolutely. And that's the thing, which that's a whole other topic. But, early season, I haven't killed one. I'll be honest with you. I haven't killed a buck real early on a feed tree. But I know it can be done because I've had several close encounters. The problem you run into it with is a bed so close to them, and it's just kind of hard to get in there without jumping them a lot of times.
Yeah, it
can happen.
Yeah, that makes sense. That early they're just going to bed and they just want to get up, and they ain't moving much till the sun goes down. I mean, that's I've seen that too.